Welcome back everyone to the channel. My name is Devin and today we're going to be talking about John Wick Chapter 4. I was at the premiere a few days ago in New York City. Thank you so much to Lionsgate for the invite, and I absolutely love this movie. In this video, I'll be giving a spoiler-free review for the first few minutes of the video, and then I will be talking about the ending of the movie, so there will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, watch the first few minutes, and then I will give a spoiler warning to let you guys know that I'll be talking about the ending and giving some spoiler thoughts. Since I was at the premiere, I got a lot of amazing footage, and you can click the playlist in the description below and go and see the behind the scenes of the New York City premiere. I got to meet Keanu, the Impractical Jokers, and a bunch of other actors, and it was an amazing time. Now this is a special review video because this is the first time that I'm going to be going through a step-by-step review system that I'm introducing for my YouTube videos and that I'll be using in the future. I'm going to review movies with this new system in place, so anyone coming back will know exactly how I'm going to review the videos, and you guys will know what I'm going to be talking about, what I'm looking for in the movie, so that you guys can look for this in the movie as well. So starting with D, it is Devin's rating for the movie. I gave this movie a 9.1 out of 10 or 4.5 out of 5. I gave John Wick 1 a 4 out of 5 stars, and then the second and third one I gave 3.5 stars, but this one was just so much better, and it's the best John Wick movie. So if you're excited for this movie or have seen it, the hype is definitely worth it. The second letter of my name is E, and this is the emotional connection I feel about the movie, and I felt so much more emotionally invested than the second and third movies. I felt an emotional connection to John Wick way more in this movie, and there are so many values, different insights that they brought back from the other movies that all connect to make this movie feel whole. Also in this category, without giving spoilers, I'm going to reveal my top 3 characters. At number 3, we have Bill Skarsgård as the Marquis in this movie. Most of my experience with Bill Skarsgård is seeing him dressed as Pennywise the Clown, so this was a fresh new take on the actor that I haven't seen before. He was in Barbarian this year and did an amazing performance in that, but in this one, he really shined. He's a villainous character, he's extremely rich, and that's all I can really say without spoiling much more. At number 2, we have Kane, who is played by the talented Donnie Yen. This character is blind, and he is a total badass throughout the film in his action scenes. I feel like he brought an amazing connection to the character of John Wick because he has a daughter who he is doing this all for, so John Wick can relate to him because he is trying to get his freedom and was avenging his wife in the first film. They both show the same values of love and dedication to their family and friends, but unfortunately, due to the world they live in, they have to be against each other. At number 1, of course, John Wick, Keanu Reeves himself. Like I said, this is John Wick at himself. The action scenes in this movie are absolutely insane. It's 10 times more the action, and you know John Wick absolutely kills it, so that's all I'm going to say about that. The next letter in Devin is V for value. Is this movie worth watching in theaters? 100% yes. I don't say this about a lot of movies, but the action scenes, the cinematography, all put together, the sound design, everything about this movie is absolutely phenomenal in theaters. Now, I definitely recommend seeing it in IMAX. It is a beautifully shot movie. The visuals, just, I cannot say enough about this movie. It is great and well worth the money in theaters. Now the next letter in Devin is I, and this is for is the movie predictable and does it take away from the plot? And it's not. Something that bothers me in movies is if it's overly predictable and the message and meaning behind the predictability is not strong enough, and in this movie, not much predictability. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but all great things to say about this, so this isn't really a problem. You know you're going to see John Wick kick ass for 3 hours, so that doesn't really add to the predictability, but it's such a fun time, so I say no predictability here. And lastly, the N in Devin is never seen before. Have I seen something like this done before? And honestly, no, I've never seen a movie with this much intense action scenes the way that they did it. I know there are tons of movies with action, but it's just not done like this. It's a whole different setting, a whole different world, and it's honestly beautiful. A character like John Wick does not come along often. The other characters in this movie, the side characters, there's the character of the tracker, there's just so many other characters that add to this movie that I feel like went perfectly. Sometimes when you add characters to a movie, it can turn out really bad and they're weak, but every single character was strong in this film. Now that is the end of the spoiler-free review section of this video, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, please click off right now. There will be spoilers from this point forward. You have been warned, so now let's talk about the ending of John Wick Chapter 4. Now all I gotta say is this was an amazing ending that I did not expect. This movie went somewhere where I didn't think they were gonna go, and John Wick was killed. In the movie industry lately, I feel like they are always pushing new movies. They'll make a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, just like Toy Story 5. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. But John Wick 5, if there is a John Wick 5, John Wick will not be alive. And if he is, I will be pissed. In the end of this movie, I was very surprised because I thought he was going to survive, but John Wick does die. So let me give my analysis on the last 30 minutes of the film because it was so beautiful. As we all know, there's a new character of the Tracker in this movie, and he is trying to kill John throughout the entire film. Mr. Nobody has a German Shepherd dog that is his pal, and when John Wick is about to be killed by Mr. Nobody, he notices that Mr. Nobody's dog is going to be shot by one of the men, and he shoots the guy to save the dog. Mr. Nobody notices this and kind of has a heartfelt reaction and kind of spares John's life. Now when I saw this, I honestly got very emotional because you think about John Wick, the first movie, how his dog was shot, and that's how it started it all. John got it from his wife and he had the emotional connection to the dog, so he knows how much a dog can mean to someone. And I think this is something we can all relate to. If you have a pet, I have a dog as well. I had 2 pets who passed away a few years ago, and it was just such a beautiful scene, and I was very emotional because of it. And in return, Mr. Nobody helps John get up the stairs to the duel. The dog attacks the guy who was going to shoot him, and Mr. Nobody saves John's life. And these kind of emotional, full circle moments are why I watch movies. And in the last 30 minutes, John Wick realizes the meaning and values these people have are very similar to his reason of living, and realizes that he's not alone. And with that, let's talk about the duel. The Marquis makes Kane fight in his place because he knows he has something to live for, while John, on the other hand, does not have much to live for because his wife is gone and he just wants his freedom. John and Kane, who recognize the similarities between each other, make their way up the stairs and help each other fight off the men. They barely make it up, but when the duel starts in the first 2 rounds, they both wound each other. During the 3rd round, John is shot and falls to the ground. Skarsgård's character, the Marquis, wants to execute John himself. He steps right in front of John, and one of my favorite moments is Winston, I believe, calls him an arrogant asshole or something like that, and that is because John Wick did not shoot the 3rd bullet and shoots the Marquis right in the head. And I didn't really expect it, to be honest. The tension was huge in the scene, you could feel it in the theater, and Kane recognized that John really did save his life. Kane is then granted his freedom, John is granted his freedom, and Winston is given the hotel back and his position. But John Wick's wounds prove to be fatal, and in a very emotional moment when he's sitting on the stairs, you see him thinking about his wife, and then he falls down on the stairs and passes away. Earlier on in the movie, John talked to the Bowery King and Winston of what he would want on his gravestone, and it was loving husband. And we see just that on John's gravestone in a very emotional scene, and we say goodbye to the character of John Wick. So let me know in the comments what you thought of John Wick Chapter 4. I absolutely love this film. Like I said, best one in the franchise. But if they do make another movie and John Wick is somehow alive again, I probably won't like it because I don't like the cash grabs and all that. But let me know in the comments what you thought, what did I miss, and I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments, and I respond to literally every single comment. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this review.